MSTC, the government-owned entity, is a Category 1 mini Ratna public sector undertaking. The results for the September 2020 quarter improved on the back of the higher e-commerce activity. In our Ideas for Profit today, we'll discuss what should be investor strategy now going forward from here on the company. Well, the revenues declined by 46%, and that's on a quarter-on-quarter basis, and that was on the back of the degrowth witnessed in the marketing segment, while the e-commerce segment actually grew 34% on a quarter-on-quarter basis. The management has already made it clear about the growing of its e-commerce business, while the trading business will be closed down by next year. Now, employee costs grew by 9% quarter-on-quarter, while other expenses declined by 43% this time. The other income also grew by 12% on a quarter-on-quarter basis, while the finance costs fell on the back of the lower working capital requirements this time. Talking about receivables, they reduced by 25% as on September 30th, 2020, as you compare it with 31st of March of 2020 at 920 crore rupees. Now, the reduction of receivables was actually on account of the reduced exposure to trading and the marketing business. Now, the short-term borrowings were also reduced by 34%, and that's thanks to the lower working capital requirement pertaining to the trading business per se. Now, operating cash flows after capex, they stood at 286 crore rupees as on 30th of September as compared to the negative 26 crore rupees as on 31st March 2020. Operating cash flows generation was higher on the back of e-commerce business. Now, during H1, MSTC saw a decline of 69% in terms of the value of goods transacted through its marketing and the e-commerce verticals as compared to the same period last year. Also, the decline was mainly due to COVID-19 pandemic and also the lockdown. Now, MSTC was able to auction 19 coal mines on its auction portal, which has been developed for the Ministry of Coal, and the process is complete. Now, the remaining 31 mines will also be now auctioned once the necessary advice from the Coal Ministry is received by the company. Now, MSTC also has for the first time successfully conducted the auction for the selling of unprocessed seeds, and that's for the various agriculture produce like wheat, paddy, pulses and others from the Chhattisgarh Rajya Bij Krishi Vikas Nigam Limited. Now, similar business model can be adopted for various other state governments as well going forward from here. The 50-50 joint venture now with Mahindra and Mahindra, and that's for the scrappage policy or scrappage of vehicles, would actually be quite profitable by say December of 2020, and though the amount will be quite negligible. The management has guided to 10% revenue growth in the e-commerce segment as well going forward from here, which we feel could be higher given the many state governments and the public sector undertakings as well going forward for it, which are favoring the online route, which leads to better price discovery and also transparency going forward from here. Now, the sale of the 5G spectrum will be also done online on the MSTC platform, and for that the company will charge a nominal fee. MSTC also sells steel scrap on its online platform. Now, the fee which is collected is actually based on the revenues and the rising steel prices. Now, if you see, the steel scrap prices are also trading higher right now, which will indirectly help MSTC in generating higher revenues going forward from here. Now, the transformational journey of this company, MSTC, from a pure, say, trading and marketing company to an e-commerce business, will now improve the return profile by making the balance sheet also much leaner going forward from here, also improving growth profile and higher EBITDA and profit after tax margins as well. Now, MSTC has a cash and cash equivalent of say 210 crore rupees. That's 20% of its market capitalization currently. Further, the disinvestment process proceeds from the sale of its 100% subsidiary FSTC, that's Ferro Scrap Nigam Limited, FSNL, will actually boost the cash reserve. Now, based on our projections, MSTC is trading at a PE multiple of 8 times FY22 projected earnings. Now, investors with a long-term view can therefore actually look to accumulate this stock for steady returns in the long term.